Okay, here we are. We have the EMU command station, the MP7 here. And you can see I have it powered on. You probably can't read the display, but everything works on it. Unfortunately, with this setup, I don't have audio from it, but we'll do that later in another video. I'll go over the audio in it. What we're going to be doing here today is replacing the ROMs in here by playing musical or SIM card Jenga or SIM card musical chairs with the Proteus 2000 and Planet Earth modules that I have here. Now, um, something that I don't know how aware everyone is, but the only difference between the Proteus 2000 and the Planet Earth is, and let me tilt this so you can see them, move the MP7 a little bit, is really the color. They're exactly the same thing inside. For some reason, this one captures a lot of money online just by the fact, I guess, it's blue. Um, so I'm probably going to remove the cards from that and sell it, just because for some reason people will buy it. And then I'm going to move all of the cards that are in here into the MP7. And then there's one card also in the Proteus that I want to take out and sell because it's redundant. I ended up with two of them somehow. So I'm going to take care of that now while I'm opening these little guys up. Um, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to um, I'm also going to replace the, I don't know if I can just show this, but you can see the rack gear on this one is a little bit wiggly because it's missing a screw. I'm going to take care of that if I can find a screw while I'm at it. The other one works very, very well. But okay, so this one is powered up right now. And the other thing that if we go into preset, let me go presets. Here you'll see, I don't know if you can see this on the display, but it says user there. That's the ROM that is currently being used. But if we go to here, you'll see it as MROM, MROM. That is not the ROM for the MP7. That is the ROM for the PK7, which is the PK7 or MP7. I can't remember, but it's the MK7. I think it's the keyboard version of this. And they had different RAMs, different ROM cards. And I would much rather have the MOFAT and the other ROMs in here because of the control panel and stuff like that, and the Beats mode and stuff like that that's missing from here because it has the wrong ROM. Um, so in any case, we're going to get started with that. I'm going to start by taking this one apart to get the ROMs out of it, and then um, we will handle this one here. So here we go on that. I'm just going to power it off. It has two power buttons, by the way. They put a rocker switch on the back that they say you should use it if it's accessible. But when it's rack mounted, you can use this one, which gives it for some reason gives it a 5 second delay. I guess in case you accidentally hit it. But it's kind of ridiculous. You don't actually have to do that. It doesn't hurt anything. So we'll unplug that and put that out of the way. Okay. I'm going to put the Proteus 2000 out of the way as well. Okay. This is the Planet Earth module. I've had it for quite a while. You can see it's got a little scuffy thing on the rack ear, but that's not uncommon with these units having been racked in and out. Interesting thing about this one is that it hasn't been really actually upgraded. This is kind of interesting. But someone at some point put the Virtuoso board, which is 128 note polyphonic, whereas the original Planet Earth was only 64 note polyphonic, and you could get an expansion for it. So this one is, I guess, a turbo mode. But when you boot it, it actually says Virtuoso because that's the actual ROM it has. But they're identical, like I said. It doesn't actually matter. They all have the same filters, they all have the same architecture. The only thing that makes these synths different at all is the ROMs and the color. So you could have a rack of Proteus 2000s with the ROM cards in it, and it would be the exact same synthesizers. And if you look on Reverb, the Proteus 2000s are a lot cheaper than these. I think I could probably just sell this blue faceplate and make money on it, but I'm not going to bother with that. So now we got to take off quite a number of screws. I need to find my little screw holder thing that I use. So thought to do that before, but you know, here we go. Got it. So let's find a screwdriver that fits. I have taken a lot of these apart and fixed them. In fact, this one that I got it really cheap because it had bad encoders on the front panel, and 5 minutes and a little solder. They're not very expensive. They can be easily fixed, but the original encoders do tend to go bad frequently. Let's get the rack ears off. Then you got to take off the sides. It's fun times, fun times, fun times. Slide off the case. Put that to the side. And then here we have the unit. We can take a look here. It's coming out. It looks like this is the power supply. Now, something I'm also going to do while I'm in here is look at the power supply because these have a tendency to explode. They were made during the very well-known crappy cap era when there were all those really bad capacitors out there on the market. This one I think looks okay. I don't see any bulging. I don't see any leaking. Looking at it closely, there's some. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm seeing crusty stuff on that capacitor. I don't know if that's. Uh, I don't smell that smell you usually get, but there's definitely some weird crusty stuff around these caps. So it's probably going to be a good idea to look into replacing that power supply, or at least recapping it at some point. Yeah, there's like all this weird little crusty stuff. I don't have a microscope or anything to zoom in and show you. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. Completely ruined my shots. That's about as good as I can do. Sorry about how primitive my rig is compared to some of the guys that do this, but in any case, this is the board. This is what it is. These are the ROM chips, um, which are just 72 pin SIM modules. And we'll just take each one of these out. This one is the World ROM. This one is very, very sought after. So we're going to be very, very careful with that one because I don't want anything to happen to that ROM. And this one is the Proteus 2000 Beat Garden ROM, which is, again, another one that's very sought after. I've been collecting these for years. Um, and here is another one. This is the Techno Construction Yard. Another one that's like really everyone wants it. This is like, you can tell I loaded this one up. And then this last one should be the Fat ROM, the MoFat. This one is the one that I want definitely in the MP7. So that leaves this thing completely not really gutted, but no ROMs in it. And we're going to put this off to the side now because I'm going to probably, I don't know if I'm going to just sell it as is with no ROMs for a couple $100 or put another ROM in it, but that's a decision for a different day. I'm just going to put the cover on it right now. Um, take one of the screws and just secure the back on so it doesn't come off. Okay, now we are back to working on. Now we are back to working on this guy. Um, and to do that, this one's interesting. It's got the ugliest rack handles ever. They made these big, ugly plastic ears on it. You can take these off and put rack ears on it and then put it in a rack. It's like 8U. It's like gigantic. It takes up so much space in your rack. Um, it's got a little scuffing chips, but otherwise in really good shape. The knobs are really nice, which is unusual on these. They're usually something about the rubber that EMU used was just really crappy. So to get this one open, we don't have to take the sides off. I believe we just have to very carefully put it on its back. And then there's screws around the perimeter that you have to take out to get the thing out. So we'll do that. Oh, yeah. Definitely hasn't been opened in a while. That, that screwdriver's not getting enough purchase on it. Let's see if I can find a different bit more appropriate to this job. Here we go. Refer servicing to qualified personnel. I am not qualified personnel, but I'm the only one here. So I guess it's stuck with me doing this. Okay, now let's take the cover off. And you'll see that that's the main board. And then, whoop, very similarly to the other one, we have this board. And this one looks like I think this one might have had a power supply replaced because this one's in a nice little cage, but the other one wasn't, which is not unlikely. These things, a lot of these go bad. Um, but yeah, otherwise looks pretty nice. Um, and here's that same ROM chip or a different ROM chip. This one will say, yep, this is the MROM, and that's not the one I want. That's the one I want to put in the other one. I think I'm going to put that in the Proteus 2000 actually, for right now. But okay, now we're just going to put these ROMs in the order that I want them, which is actually reverse order from what we want them. So I'm going to put the world board in first. Let's make sure we're lined up there. You have to be very careful. These connectors are old and they're plastic, and sometimes they snap. I mean, the old PC, like retro computing people, will know all about that. Help if I put it in the right way, wouldn't it? There we go. And then number 3 is going to be the Beat Garden. And number 2 is going to be the Techno instruction yard. And then the last one is going to be the fat ROM. And there we go. Very simple. And now this is a fully expanded unit with the ROMs that I want. We're going to very, very carefully flip it over. And we're going to screw the parts back in. I'm only going to do 2 right now because I want to flip it over and check to make sure that it's working after that. The presets will be, the user memory will be all messed up because it's going to be trying to reference a ROM that's not there anymore. But that is okay. That's expected. I intend to rewrite all of that with my own anyway. Okay, power to it. And power it up and see what happens. Oh, there we go. It's doing its loading. This thing takes a long time to start up. I have no idea why. All the other EMU synths are almost instant on, but not this one. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to see the presets. Yep, and the little star. I don't know if you can see that. The little star in the display is indicating that it can't find the samples. So that one, let's see. World, fat, techno, beat. Yep. Now, what order it puts them in here is kind of, I don't know if it's arbitrary or what, but it's actually listing them in a completely different order than I put them in. Put world at the back, fat at the front, and it's not even alphabetical, so who the heck knows? But it doesn't really matter anyway. They're all in there. So they're all being read, which is what was important. I actually have another of these that has a problem where 2 of the ROM slots do not work. And I don't have the patience or the skill to fix the cold solder joint that's probably causing the problem. Um, if anybody wants to take a crack at that, who's local to the Chicago area, I will more than happily let you try it. So anyway, so let's do that. Now we're done with this unit. I'm going to put it off to the side. I'm going to get the Proteus 2000, and then we will do the ROM swapping, get that ROM out from there. Okay, same second verse, same as the first. Or third verse, same as the first. I don't know. These boxes, I don't know why I love them so much. I've bought and sold them a lot over the years, but as romplers go, they're one of the best ones that was ever made. There's so much you can do with the sound and the filters, and the sound is just so good on them. The I don't know if it's the particular ROM samples or how they are processed, but they just sound really, really, really good, very clear and crisp, and they take effects really, really well. They're like you've heard them a million times. The entire what was it? What soundtrack was that? I can't remember. Um, Halo, the game Halo soundtrack. Alex Ball has a video about uh, about these. So here we go. And let's take a look. Let's see what we got in here. This is, again, same layout as the other ones. Um, this power supply is, oh, there's crusty shit on this one too. Hmm. Oh, maybe that's glue that just dried out, some kind of glue, gluing those capacitors down because it's brown and crunchy. It's everywhere. Anyway, let's go to the ROMs. Let's see what ROMs we have in here. We have, this is the Proteus 2000 Composer ROM. This one is definitely going to stay in there because that's its native ROM. Um, this is the Extreme Lead 1. This is the one that I have as a duplicate because the Techno Construction Yard basically contains all of this and some more stuff. So that one's the one I'm going to let go. If anyone's interested, contact me. It'll be up on Reverb soon. Okay. Ooh, this is interesting. This one seems to have, there we go. The clip is bent. Ah, there we go. This one is the Protozoa. This is the Proteus 123. So you have all the samples from the original Proteus, in case you're feeling nostalgic. And this last one, what is this last one? This last one is the sounds of the ZR, which are the ZR76, which was the and Sonic. So I actually think I'm going to not put the MROM back in here. I'm just going to take that one out. The MROM and the X lead are going to go on to new owners, and these three are going to go in there, and I'm going to reserve that last spot for one I've always wanted, which is uh, which is the B3. Actually, I had it one time, and at the time I was like, what do I really need a B3 sample set for? And that was forgot you have to forgot about the order you got to put them in. It doesn't matter what order you put them in because it identifies them and then does that thing. So it's not like it's related to do. The anyway, B3 organ samples and synthesizers are a lot of fun, especially when you've got crazy filters like this in modulation. You can think of them all as just a lot of different spectra, additive waveforms, which is essentially what an organ is. An organ is just an additive synthesizer. We just don't call it that. So now we're gonna fully put the case back on this one and get that going. So many screws for such a small case. Fortunately, EMU made them all the same size, so you don't have to spend too much time making sure that you're putting the right screw in the right place. It's small for some reason. Oh yeah, that one was from the other one. The other one had some smaller screws on it because, oh, interesting. That seems to be a stripped screw. Maybe that's why there was no screw in it, because it got stripped. Now, dime a dozen these cases, I can get another one online. Or rematch that. So there we go. She's looking good. Let's power her up, make sure she's okay. She's Yep. Ooh, some lines in the display are missing. Hadn't noticed that. I guess that's going to be something else that's going to go on the repair list. Or actually, while I'm doing this anyway, I know I just put her all back together, but I guess this video you're going to get a bonus. I'm going to swap the LCD out from the world module that is not working. Or actually it is working, but it's, no longer has any ROMs in it. I'm going to swap the display over. It should only take a minute to do. Wish I'd thought to do it before the screws were out, though. Because the world one's very nice. It came with a broken display, completely dead, and I replaced that with a nice blue display. And obviously, I don't want to waste that display, so I might as well put it in here. I should have thought of that before. I have taken these EMUs apart so many times. I know this is terribly, terribly exciting, but maybe this will help you get some sleep if you're late at night and you're tired. You know, little EMU repair SMR. Now, here's the fun part with this. The display is back there. To remember how to do that, you have to get most pieces off. You have to pry out the knobs. Them to the side. And oops. And we lost a screw. There it is. Any of the electrical engineers want to tell me what this is for? I would love to know. Okay, we're gonna now carefully put it on its back like that. Mhm. How do we get this thing out of here? Oh, this is turning into a lot more than I thought it was going to be. Oh, smaller screwdriver. Oh, these two. There's always one more screw. Oh, all that, and I realized I could have just unscrewed those four little posts. Okay, that was stupid. Ah, maybe we won't post this part of the video. Maybe we'll edit it out. Nah, I'm all about showing my stupidity. I've been doing that for my entire life. 51 years of abject stupidity. Okay, and here we are. Now, before I take that, disconnect that, I want to get the other one so I can make sure I match the orientation the same way. I'm going to put this to the side here, and we're going to go back to, we're going to open this one up again. This one, I only put one screw in the back of it. And it's essentially a parts unit now. Okay. Oh, there we go. Rid the pop. Don't break that. Oh, hell, did I do that? Yep, I did. I'll figure to get that out later. Power switch. I accidentally pulled it back into it. There we go. Come on. The heck is that? There's a screw in here. I wonder where that came from. I must have just dropped it. This thing would have been toast if there had been a screw floating around in there like that. Okay. Okay. Come on out of there. I don't know where EMU bought their displays from, but they were some cheap crap. Do I remember where I got this new display from? No, I don't. I have no idea where I got it from. I can't. I probably just found it on Reverb. Probably paid too much for it, but it's been really, really nice. It's very beautiful. Nice deep blue color, which I thought fit the Proteus really well. The world unit. Come on, get in that little screw. Very, very hard to get it in there because there's all this crap around there. Come on. My hands shake a bit. Maybe I should drink less coffee. There we go. Okay. Okay. So now that's in there. That's back in there. And it's back up. That clip back on it. Again, anybody want to tell me what this thing is for? I'm not an EE, so I have no idea. Sometimes a synth must die so that other synths may live. I'm trying a new recording setup, by the way. I've got my I'm using my AirPods for the microphone, so we'll see how that works. It's definitely better than the big headset mic with a cable that I had running. So I'm really in my early days on this whole thing. I should probably have better tech by now, but video is not my forte. Okay, so let's I guess we gotta secure this thing back together. Should I put the old display back in it? Nah, I'm gonna just part spin this one. So I'm gonna put enough screws to hold it together, but maybe this goes on eBay or something. And hey, if you need parts, you know, you might notice that it was cracked. This cheap plastic is, so many years old now. It's all degrading, and it's gotten very brittle. It got crunched in a rack while I was racking it. Not in Iraq, the country, but in a rack, like in my studio. So yeah, I've definitely not been, playing music shows in Iraq. That's not my scene. Okay, that screw, that this is the screw that I found inside the the unit. This was definitely has definitely been floating in there around in there for I don't know, at least a few years since I opened this. So this thing was a ticking time bomb. I have no idea how that got in there and why it wasn't making any noise. It was jammed in really good wherever it was. I guess we can be thankful for. Um, Come on. Let me pull these knobs off because they're nice knobs, and I'm not going to give them up the parts unit that I'm selling. Okay. Come on, enough lock in here. Shoot, I mean, through here. Everything looks okay. What I'm gonna do through this. Oh, I see what that meant. There we go. Oh, we lost a knob. Don't lose your knob, kids. Okay, before we screw it together, let's just make sure the display is working. Yeah, look at that. See that beautiful, pretty blue? Makes this thing look a lot sexier. Yep, there we go. And where's my oh, power button? We can get that back on there. Yeah. And now we'll screw it back together. I know I lured y'all in with a command station video and I'm showing you these stupid Proteuses, but they're the same thing. Honestly, I'd like to get a P2500 in my rack at one point, part of the history of the I don't know what you would call it, not franchise, but the line. 2500 was interesting. It was so much EMU trying to grab at straws. They were flailing. They were trying to catch up with this market just that had changed completely in front of them, because synthesizers uh they just didn't know how to adapt to uh when virtual analogs were coming on in the early days of the analog revolution and sampling was going into the computer. They were looking for something and they just, made some very, very, I mean, these rack modules, these were great bread and butter things. They invented the rack module with the Proteus pretty much, the original Proteus. But they just couldn't get the whole techno dance scene that they were going after. And what they should have done, honestly, was take that command station and put the guts of an E4 sampler into it, because that would have been an MPC killer. I will stand by that assertion. That would have been an MPC killer for sure, or at least a competitor for what the MPC was at the time. I think they might have had some limitations because of the merger with Ensoniq after Creative bought them, and then Ensoniq had the ASRX. They were kind of doing more sticking with the samplers, while EMU was going more into these synthesizers, and just never worked out for them. Okay, there we go. Almost beautiful. They tried, and I would love to see EMU really come back. I know that Rossum has his modular like version of the his modular version of the Morpheus filter, and I love Rossum's modules, but oh, they are not like the old days. I'd love to see him take that command station, like I said, take the Morpheus filter, put it into an MPC box, like the SP, 5600 or something like that. Kind of give it some name that references the past, and I think it would be kind of awesome. But no one listens to me because I am the living embodiment of a Leonard Cohen record. Anyway, okay, so that one's done. Only thing left is to finish screwing this one back in, which I'm sure you're all excited to see because it is such an engaging process screwing in, uh, putting screws in EMU modules. If anyone who's watching this knows any way to make any usefulness of the USB port on the back of an EMU command station now, I haven't done too much research yet on that now that I have a working one, but it would be very useful. I know that's the only way to load and save patterns and stuff off the sequencer. And I would really like to find some way I could manage it, but I don't think it's out there. All of these in here. Okay, and one more time just to make sure she's on. And it's Christmas. So there we go. And now we're going to get these two ROMs up on Reverb. So if anybody wants an X-Lead ROM or a MoFat ROM, let me know.